In Gelada society, the throne is never given. It must be won with blood. Who will be strong enough to retain power before hundreds of eyes waiting for the slightest mistake? Baboon Civil War, the duel between the two leaders. Amidst the steep cliffs of Ethiopia, where the winter winds cut into the flesh like knives, the Gelada throne has never had a peaceful day. Baboon Civil War. A king can win it with bravery, but keeping it requires more than that. And in the moment of changing seasons, that power is once again challenged. The Ethiopian Plateau is covered in a silvery gray of morning mist. Clouds wrap around the mountain peaks over 3,000 meters high like the cloak of an ancient god. Right in the middle of that seemingly desolate land, a kingdom is in motion. The kingdom of the Gelada, the only red-haired baboon on the planet. Not long before, this place had been shaken by a life-or-death struggle between a young challenger and the brutal King Tarik. Kanu, son of cold wind and mountain rock, had risen up and defeated the one who had ruled for 3 rainy seasons. Blood stained every stone, and in the cold Simian wind, a new dynasty was born. However, in a land where every step is precarious, victory never means the end. For Gelada, the throne only lasts as long as the alpha male can convince the pack to follow. One small mistake can cause a dynasty to collapse. Kanu knew this better than anyone before him. When the first rays of sunlight broke through the clouds, the Simian steppe glowed red like burning coals. On the highest cliff, Kanu stood there, his red mane glowing like a halo of fire. The wind blew through his long fur, making him look like a god guarding the gates of the sky. At his feet, the Gelada herd slowly awoke. The females gathered around the new leader, grooming each other as a ritual to welcome power. The young males stood further away, not daring to approach, but also not taking their eyes off the new king. Kanu stepped down, moving through the herd like a calm wind. No need to threaten, no need to show off. In the Gelada, calmness is the most powerful force. In the middle of the grass still damp with night dew, he stopped before a mother gently holding her newborn child. Kanu bent down, gently touching the child's head. A small action, but a king's oath of protection. But behind him, the undercurrents were still moving. At the edge of the herd, a few young males watched furtively. They were not strong enough to challenge, but their ambition was enough to become a shadow threatening the throne. Kanu sensed it all. Amidst the wind blowing across the mountainside, he realized the cruel truth of royalty. He who stands at the highest peak is always the loneliest. The sun rose. The air became dry, the dust drifting thin as smoke on the rocky slopes. Kanu sat among his children. Beside him was his firstborn, Luma, the first hope of the dynasty. While the flock groomed and searched for fresh grass, a great shadow fell on the ground, like the opening of the gates of death. The Ethiopian vulture, the old hunter of the cliff, was circling the whirlwinds. It immediately noticed Luma, a small, easy prey, and the king's child. The alarm rang out across the mountainside. The children scattered, holding their children close to their chests. Kanu jumped up in an instant. The vulture folded its wings and swooped down like a black spear tearing the sky. But before its claws touched Luma, a thunderous roar rang out. Kanu charged so powerfully that dust swirled around him. The vulture was startled, circling sharply, losing momentum, and then disappearing into the sea of clouds. The child was held tightly by his mother, safe. And Kanu stood there, his red feathers covered with dust, his eyes blazing, his breath panting. No one cheered, but each Gelada bowed his head as he passed. To them, a king is only truly recognized when he protects the most fragile thing in the flock, the children. However, the more he proves his strength, the more isolated he becomes. Because the ambition in the flock also grows stronger with each victory he has. The rain returns to Simeon. The young grass grows like a miracle of resurrection. At the edge of the young grass, the mothers face the wind, letting the baby monkeys watch as they separate each soft blade of grass. Although Gelada only eat grass, the art of choosing grass is the key to survival. Finding the youngest part, with the least silica to keep their teeth from being worn down, the weapon that determines the status of the future males. Luma, clumsy and eager, tried to imitate his mother. He pulled out a large tuft of grass, put it in his mouth, chewed a few times, and quickly spit it out. An adult female approached, gently pulled him close, and pointed to the soft white root. A lesson passed down without words. Not far away, other young cubs were practicing their first moves as warriors, shouldering, knocking, pulling grass from your hands. Those mischievous acts were how they trained their reflexes and resilience to face the challenges when they grew up. From the high rock, Kanu watched everything. His eyes suddenly softened when he saw Luma struggling to find the right piece of grass. A king may rule with his fangs, but the future of his dynasty lies with the little creatures learning to survive in this cold mountain. No one knows. In a few minutes, that fragile piece will be torn apart. As the sun rises, the Gelada flock stretches along the mountainside, diligently pulling out each young grass. Each time they pull the grass, they sharpen their strong jaws and razor-sharp teeth, which will determine who can stand up to fight for power in the future. The young ones still play on the grass, roll in the dust, call to each other with shrill, energetic cries. Kanu rests on a large rock, eyes half closed but ears constantly moving. Even in the most peaceful moments, he never relaxes completely. Because sometimes, the greatest danger comes from those who share the same blood. At noon, as the sunlight poured down the mountainside, Luma took his first steps. But from afar, the group of young males, now grown up, with bright red manes and strong bodies, were approaching like an undercurrent of wind. Not hunting, not playing, but challenging power. They suddenly rushed towards the group of young monkeys. A shrill cry rang out. Kanu jumped up. He rushed down the slope with the speed of an arrow, rock dust flying up. The battle exploded like thunder in the clear sky. Fangs clashed, screams rent the air. The young males were strong, but no match for the madness of a king protecting his cub. A few minutes later, all was quiet. The rebels were driven from the herd, forced to leave. They gathered into wandering groups of males, exiled souls with eyes burning with hatred and ambition. Kanu stood on the cliff, his red feathers stained with blood. The first rains of the season fell, washing away the battlefield. The throne was still his. But peace once again vanished like mist on the mountaintop. The dry season returned. Hot winds swept through Simeon like burning blades, carrying with them the smell of cracked earth and yellowed grass. The streams that once fed the plateau were now cold, rocky gullies. Where the last water had disappeared weeks ago. The Gelada herd gathered around Kanu. The king's eyes turned to the distant valley, where only a few rare green patches remained in the harsh drought. The path was not easy, but for a kingdom that lived on grass and water, migration was not a choice, but a command of nature. Kanu took the first step. No words of signal, no call. Just a slight movement of the body was enough for the herd to understand. It was time to leave this place. The red Gelada streamed along the mountainside, looking like a living lava flow crawling over the edge of Ethiopia. The wind blew Kanu's red mane, making him look like a flag leading the kingdom. The baby monkeys clung to their mother, their eyes wide with curiosity and fear. They heard the rocks rolling under their feet, felt the heat from the ground, and saw the sky change color with each step. They do not yet understand that the road ahead is even more severe. But faith in the king is stronger than fate. On the Ethiopian Plateau, where the cold wind never sleeps and the cliffs are always waiting to take lives, faith and unity are the only things that keep the kingdom alive longer than any dynasty. As the setting sun falls on Simeon, the sky is dyed red like fire. The Gelada's shadow stretches along the mountainside, like the silhouette of a dynasty that has just left its old homeland to find a new future, or a new war. Tomorrow, when they set foot on strange lands, who will be waiting in the darkness? An enemy? Another Gelada? Or the exiled souls that Kanu had driven from the herd? Will the king have the strength to protect the herd once again? Or will this be the moment when a new rival rises, challenging the primate's endless spiral of power? Subscribe and ring the bell so you don't miss the next episode. A battle where thrones are built with cold wind, sharp stones, and the blood of those brave enough to stand.
A silent predator in the yellow grass, a shadow of death in the sky. When leopards and eagles meet, who will be the one to die? The battle begins. There is no room for error. Unforgiving Namibia. Leopards and the shadow of death in the sky. In the heart of arid Africa, where time is sealed in layers of red sand, a wild world still operates silently according to ancient, cruel and fascinating laws. In Namibia, the scorching heat of the day and the bone-chilling cold of the night are just the prelude to a harsh symphony of survival. In this seemingly barren land, life does not just exist. Silent predators lurk behind the dry bushes. Creatures that seem small hold the secret of perfect adaptation. And each step on the sand may be the last trace of a life. There is a person who walks like a shadow. It leaves no trace, no mistake. A symbol of mystery and death. The leopard. The embodiment of hidden power in the wild. Its pale yellow fur, spotted with a black rosette pattern, is both camouflage armor and an unmistakable identification mark. Its muscular body with high shoulders, broad chest and powerful legs allow it to climb steep cliffs or dash away in a flash. Its amber eyes, calm but sharp as a knife, reflect every little movement of its surroundings. Its long tail acts as a rudder, allowing it to maintain balance during sudden changes of direction when chasing. In particular, it has an extraordinary ability to climb trees. A skill that helps it avoid predators and hide its spoils. It lives alone. Each male controls a large area. It will leave a scent trail to warn off intruders. When a strange leopard enters its territory, it will not end well. The leopard is a solitary, patient, and strategic hunter. It does not choose to chase in open spaces, but prefers to lurk from the shadows, taking advantage of every gap in the terrain to approach without making a sound. Its prey is diverse, depending on the environment and opportunity. It can be monkey groups, antelopes or young wild boars or smaller prey. As long as they are not careful, they will become its target. The sun begins to cast a layer of pale yellow light, spreading evenly over the dry grass. The space seems quiet, but life is still moving silently. From afar, a herd of impala appears. Impala is one of the most common prey species in the African savanna. About 90 centimeters tall, weighing from 40 to 60 kilograms, slender body, long legs and extremely fast reflexes. Smooth chestnut brown fur, white belly, with characteristic black streaks on the hind legs and ears. The male has a pair of curved horns like a sickle, both for fighting and to signal his power. Impalas live in herds, always on the move, always alert. Their survival instinct is speed and coordination. But sometimes, just one wrong step is enough to put the herd in a moment between safety and danger. dark shadow is slowly approaching. The wind blows through the dry grass, carrying fine dust that floats on the ground. The impala herd stands to eat, their long necks bowed down and then raised again, always ready to run at the slightest sign. The distance between them and the leopard gradually shortens. The leopard's body is as tense as a bowstring. Its shoulders rise and fall with each slow breath, its amber eyes locked on its target. An impala is separating from the herd, moving diagonally toward the bushes where it is ambushing. Its claws are ready, its tail is tucked close to the ground, and each muscle along its spine tightens. The impala has let its guard down. The opportunity has come. Suddenly, the leopard charged. Quickly, decisively, the prey could not resist. The whole herd fled in chaos. After the hunt, the leopard carried the prey's body to a place away from other competitors. Alone in the wilderness, the strong one is not only the one who kills the prey, but also the one who keeps it from the eyes watching from afar. In this world, where life and death are only a breath apart, the leopard is still a silent and cruel artist. Leopard mating is not fixed, usually taking place during the rainy season. The female only signals when entering the estrus stage, a process that lasts several days. It emits a characteristic pheromone and leaves a mark with urine or rubbing itself against trees. The male, if recognizing this signal, will quietly approach the female. Competition for mating between two male leopards can erupt at any time. The winning male will mate with the female. They mate many times and for many days to increase the chance of conception. After mating, the male leaves, leaving the female alone to raise the next generation. The gestation period lasts about 3 months. The female leopard will find a secluded place, giving birth to 2 to 4 cubs. The mother leopard will always have to constantly move to a new place to distract predators such as hyenas or even her own kind. When the chicks are about 6 to 8 weeks old, they begin to emerge from the nest and continue their hunting lessons to survive in the harsh world. They are no longer stalkers. They will be new predators, inheriting the instinct of blood, the shadow of the forest and the eyes of silence. But during the time when they are still weak and inexperienced young ones, they always have to face dangers that can appear at any time. On the vast grassland, a dark shadow is sweeping across the sky. Martial eagle, the supreme predator in the sky. They have a wingspan of up to 2.5 meters and a weight of over 6 kgs. It is the largest eagle species on the continent. The black-brown feathers covering the back contrast with the white-spotted belly, making the giant body almost melt into the harsh sunlight of the savanna sky. Its dark yellow eyes scan the ground for movement, so keen that it can detect prey from hundreds of meters above. Its curved beak is as sharp as a sickle. Its muscular legs with thick, curved claws are strong enough to pierce the skull of a small antelope. Unlike other birds of prey that are often in a hurry, the martial eagle is patient. It soars silently, using the thermals to maintain a stable altitude, almost without flapping its wings. This bird lives alone most of the time. They only pair up during the breeding season, usually at the beginning of the rainy season, when food is more abundant and the trees are thick enough to cover the nest. The pair chooses the tallest tree in the area, weaving branches into a nest up to 2 meters wide, reinforced over many years. Each clutch usually has only 1 egg, rarely 2. The mother incubates the eggs for nearly 2 months, while the father defends the territory and hunts for food. When the chicks hatch, they are carefully cared for weeks, but if there are 2, the weaker individual is often left to starve to death. Its diet is varied. From large birds, young baboons, hares, to young antelopes that have just left the herd. But the most terrifying is its ability to target creatures that seem to be protected, the leopard cubs. If there is just one opening, if the mother leaves the nest to hunt for too long, the eagle will take their lives as lightly as a cold wind blowing through the grass. The early morning sky is covered with a layer of soft yellow light, strangely calm. On the dry steppe, the mother leopard and her cub leave the nest to hunt. Meanwhile, on the top of a towering tree, the martial eagle is motionless like a living stone statue. Its dark yellow eyes follow. It is not in a hurry. Time is the ally of the patient. Before its eyes, every movement below is clearly visible. It tilts its head slightly to adjust its vision. Below, the ground shimmered with early morning light, interspersed with faint shadows from the low bushes that trembled in the gentle breeze. A cub stepped out. The eagle had already taken aim. Its wings were slightly spread, just enough to feel the changing air currents. Its body tensed like a bowstring. Its feet clenched tightly on the cracked bark, creating a dry, rattling sound, so faint it could barely be heard from the ground. Every time the cub raised its head, every time its feathers fluttered in the wind, they appeared in its sights like moving points of light in a still picture. Time seemed to stand still. The moment the cub raised its head, the sunlight glaring into its eyes, it felt darkness descend. In just a few seconds, the eagle had brought its prey to a high branch where the foliage crossed the early morning light, dividing the boundary between the victor and the rest of the savannah. But it didn't know that it was being watched. The mother leopard had seen everything. Suddenly, the mother leopard jumped into the tree. The wings stretched out in defense instinct, but it was too late. The fierce battle ended after more than 10 minutes. The mother leopard successfully caught the enemy who had robbed her cub right on the tree. The surroundings seemed to be quiet again. The sunlight was no longer as bright as in the morning, as if there had never been a confrontation. In the wild world, where every moment could be the last, there was no room for negligence. There were only those who never gave up. This was a battle between a mother willing to climb to the dangerous peak, just to regain the most important thing. Not victory, but life. But not all wings in the Namibian sky are violent. While the warrior eagle rules the arid plains and stalks from the treetops, another king guards his territory in the calmer waters. In the deep lagoons, the African fish eagle, quiet, precise, and deadly, With its powerful plumage, its head and chest are as white as snow, while its back and wings are covered in a deep reddish brown. The fish eagle stands out majestically against the blue sky. Its large, deeply hooked beak is bright yellow with a sharp black tip, as if carved from obsidian. Its sharp orange-yellow eyes pierce the ripples. No movement escapes its sight. Its wingspan is over 2 meters, and each flap of its wings causes the space above the water to tremble slightly. But when hunting, it doesn't need to flap. It glides, and waits. They live in pairs, bonding for years. Their nests are usually located on the tops of riverside trees, built from dry branches and growing larger each breeding season. There are usually 2 eggs, but only 1 chick usually survives, after months of harsh selection by nature. Unlike other cold-blooded predators, the fish eagle does not roar or chase. It chooses precision, silence, and grace. Its main food is fish. But when it is scarce, it is ready to hunt other species or even steal prey from storks or herons. A gentle breeze blows, stirring its white feathers, but its orange-gold eyes do not blink. From that height, it looks through the sparkling water, where the sunlight reflects in thousands of swaying silver scales. Below the clear water, faint shadows move among the dense weeds. A school of fish is lurking. Every small movement caught the eye of the hunter waiting above. It is in no hurry. Time is something the fish eagle understands better than any other species. A gentle wave. A fish breaks away from the school, heading for the shallows, flipping its fins slightly close to the surface of the lake. The light hits its back, creating a silver streak that flashes for a moment. That is the moment. No need for momentum. The eagle dives into the water. The water only has time to shake for a moment. The eagle spreads its wings. Its talons tighten around the fish, lifting its prey from the lake. Droplets of water fall in sparkling streaks behind it, fading in the morning sun. Below, the water returns to its familiar calm. But the sky where the eagle has just left still bears the traces of a perfect hunt. In Africa, every gust of wind, every glance, can be the beginning of life or the end. Under the canopy where the encounter between the eagle and the mother leopard has just subsided, temporary silence returns to the savannah. Peace on the savannah is a precious moment, but it does not mean that there is no danger. Hidden behind the bushes, long shadows slowly wait for their opportunity. The African python, the one who spreads fear with its deadly silence. A predator whose victims often do not recognize until it is too late. With a length that can exceed 6 meters and a weight of more than 100 kilos, it is one of the largest pythons in the world. It is a living muscle machine, born to squeeze and kill. Its entire body is covered in dark scales, a mixture of grey, brown and black, creating rock-like patterns, helping it to perfectly hide in the barren ground or in dense bushes. Its head is flat, wide, and its small eyes have vertical pupils, enough to observe movement. Combined with the heat-sensing organs around its mouth, it helps it track the warmth of its prey even in the dark. The African python does not hunt by quick attacks, but by absolute stillness. It lies in wait for hours, even all day, waiting for an unfortunate person to accidentally step within reach. The breeding season usually falls at the beginning of the rainy season, when the environment is favorable and food sources are abundant. The male follows a pheromone trail to find the female. Mating takes place quietly in bushes or cool, moist terrain. After that, the female will find a secluded place to lay eggs. What's special is that the female python will wrap around the nest of eggs to protect them, even vibrating her body to create heat to keep them warm during the incubation period of about 2 months. When the eggs hatch, the offspring are about 50 centimeters long, fully equipped with survival instincts. They will quickly disperse, begin their solitary lives, and immediately become the target of other predators, from birds of prey, large snakes, to hyenas. Only the fastest, best hidden individuals will survive to adulthood. Its food is very diverse, from birds, hares, small antelopes, to baby crocodiles or baby leopards if the opportunity is favorable. The bite of the rock python is extremely precise. Its teeth are angled inward to help it lock onto its prey. And after that meal, it cannot eat anything for weeks, even months. In the hot afternoon, when the ground was steaming and the dry wind blew through the low bushes, the leopard was walking lightly through the bushes. But there was a vague, strange sound, not the sound of dry branches breaking underfoot, but something moving. The leopard began to play with its prey, not attacking immediately. It took a few steps forward and then retreated, its feet moving as if dancing among the dry grass. Sharp claws emerged from the thick pads of its feet, lightly brushing the dust, causing a thin layer of dust to float in the twilight light. The leopard raised its shoulders, its whole body stretched like a string. The wind died down. The space was suffocatingly quiet. Unexpectedly, they charged at each other. It seemed like they had won, but this time the leopard could only retreat before the python's tight squeezes and counterattacks that made it suffocate. The leopard gave up. Not because it was weak, but because in nature, life is not for the reckless. And the leopard understands that sometimes the boundary between life and death can come from a tight squeeze. Namibia is a land where the strong do not only hunt to live, but also survive after hunting. Every step of the leopard, every spread of the eagle's wings, or the silent squeeze of the African python, all are drumbeats of a symphony of survival. Amidst the enchanting beauty of nature, there are hidden the harshest laws that no species is allowed to forget. If you love the fierce battles of the wild, subscribe to the channel and turn on the bell so you don't miss any exciting survival moments.